And good morning, Pensacola.
And good morning, Pensacola.
Welcome, Wednesday.
Welcome, Wednesday.
I got a double sound here, but anyway. All right, good morning, Pensacola. How you doing this morning? You got Vernon this morning. You have Vernon this morning. Wake up. It's on a Thursday morning, y'all. Thursday morning. And I say good morning to everybody under the sound of my voice this morning. I say hello. Uh, this is a day that we're going to have to put away our good friend DJ Starchild, and I'll talk about that a little bit later on today. But good morning. Today is Thursday. We got a program on this morning. We got a guest on. We're going to have Jerry McIntosh, who's going to be on a little bit earlier today, around 8 o'clock time frame. We're also going to do the morning news cap, just headlines so you can find out what's going on in the news. We're gonna do some community news and let you let you know what's going on in terms of the events going on around town this morning. We're gonna talk about a little few Black history facts, and I might even throw you in a joke of the day. Okay, I might throw in a joke of the day and so forth. So we're gonna talk about how you can make sure that you're registered to vote as well, and to see whether or not you are still on the voting roll. Okay, to make sure that you're still on the voting roll. All right, so you need to make sure that you need to check that out. Okay. All right. Well, before I get started this morning, I guess I better go ahead and do a commercial break here this morning. I do a commercial break, and but we'll be right back after these important messages. Okay.
Navigating healthcare is hard. Baptist makes it better. With convenient locations, easy scheduling, and skilled, compassionate doctors. All when you need us most. The next time you need care, let Baptist make it better. Baptist Healthcare.
Singing telegram! Happy holiday cash scratch-offs. That looks like a great gift for everyone on my list, including me.
Oh, watch out! The Florida Lottery. It's good fun.
Are you searching for a great bank in Pensacola? Your search ends here with Bank of Pensacola. At Bank of Pensacola, we go beyond just being a bank. We prioritize exceptional customer service to meet all your banking needs. Whether you're interested in our checking or savings accounts, CDs, IRAs, or auto and home loans, or even credit cards, we have the perfect solutions for you. Visit us today for more information.
Are you looking to start your education or to change careers? Pensacola State College is the place for you. We offer bachelor's degrees, 2-year degrees, career certificates, and more, ranging from nursing to welding. Apply today, pensacolaState.edu.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Arthur Searcy in Pensacola today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
All right, Pensacola, welcome back. Good morning. You got Vernon this morning, and what I want you to do is get on your computer. If you're looking at us on Facebook, make sure you share, like, and subscribe. The subscription is free on YouTube and so forth. But if you are looking at us on Facebook this morning, please share it with your friends. I only got so many friends, so they'll know that Vernon is on this morning. We're going to be talking about local community stuff and also what's going on around the world in the headlines, and also what's going on around the state of Florida, as well as the Pensacola and the greater area. We do that every morning. It is up to you now to get the details. I'm going to give you basically the headlines of what is happening, and if you want to deep depth down into it, you're going to have to buy your Pensacola News Journal, or go to CNN, do whatever you got to do to get the details of what's going on in the world this morning. And so, but I would just want to give you the headlines. I want you to wake up, get your cup of coffee, and enjoy the day. We start every morning here around 6:30 a.m. in the mornings, okay, and we run to 9 o'clock in the morning. This is a brand new show. I want you to spread the word about this show to other folks, okay? Spread the word about the show. We've only been on for a couple of weeks, and what I'm trying to do is pick up where Robert Hill left off, okay? Trying to pick up where Robert Hill left off. Keep the community informed on what is happening in and around our world. You know, today is Thursday, and today they will also have the homegoing services for my good friend Robert Laster, which is better known around town as Star Child, okay? His funeral is going to be today. It's going to be today at 11 o'clock at the New Birth Baptist Church. Okay, at the New Birth Baptist Church. So you might, if you plan to go, you might want to go early. If you do miss it, we will try to, WBQP TV will try to live stream it out so that if you're at work or wherever you are, you'll be able to get it. And if all works out fine, we also will record it and play it back later. We're also going to try to do it live on channel 12.1 or 12.8. So you check both channels if you around 11 o'clock time frame to see if we are able to stream that live. Sometimes technical stuff will prevent us doing it because we're doing it live. They're on the spot, so but you have to bear with us on that as well. Okay, just bear with us on the spot as well. All right, everybody, tell everybody that Vernon is on this morning. This is the Old Hill in the Morning show converted. Now you got Vernon this morning. You're gonna have Vernon every morning. Okay, you're gonna have Vernon every morning going forth. Okay, have Vernon every morning going forth. Okay, let's dive into some of the headlines this morning. Okay, let's dive into some of the headlines. Before I do that, I just want to recap on what we plan to do this morning. We're going to talk about the latest stuff in the news and the headline around the 8 o'clock time frame. Hopefully that we will be talking to Jerry McIntosh and some folks from the Democratic Party on how you can help keep our democracy, okay? We can help keep our democracy, and so we'll talk about that later. I'm gonna try to give you some Black History facts and also let you know what's going on in the community around certain events that's happening in town, so forth. Also, if you're interested in getting your information out, okay? If you're interested in getting your information out, just text it to me. Just text it to me here at this phone number here. Text it to me at 850-293-5007, okay? Text your information if you got an announcement that you want to make, okay? If you got an announcement that you want to make, just text it to me and send me the graphics along with it. Okay, just send me the graphics along with it. All right, just send me the graphics along with it. So, but any rate, y'all, you got me, you got Vernon this morning. All right, I tell you what we're going to do. Let's dive into, if you will, let's dive into the what's going on in the community this morning. Okay, let's dive on what's going on in the community this morning. What we say, the community that we serve. Okay, the community that we serve here. All righty, y'all. Let me get my billboard on here. All right. How about the local news here this morning? There was a. I'm gonna start off with a little amusing news, but there was a Christmas tree stolen from the Winterfest. They had the Winterfest downtown, and they store the. I'm assuming they store the hardware, such as the trees and the stuff they had under the county's material there, and somebody stole it. Somebody stole a 40-foot tree, Christmas tree, a 40-foot Christmas tree, but they determined that it was by mistake. So the folks would have to bring the tree back. They assumed because it was no sign on it said "Do not take." I guess they took a big old 40-foot tree. They looked at the cameras and they found out who did it, and they understood that it wasn't a theft, but it was taken by mistake, and they are going to return the tree. What about what's going on statewide? Okay, now I'm going to probably get back to this, but I just want to mention this. They got a bill. They got a bill in Congress now for your 26th and 27th bill going in Congress for the state of Florida, and to the tune of $127 billion for the budget. So you might want to check that out as well. See where your money going. See where your money going in the state of Florida. That's what the state of Florida is working on right now. Okay. Also, you heard me talk about earlier this week about the tariffs that actually affecting farmers. And in this area, we have farmers has also been affected by the tariffs. And I believe that the administration now is saying that they are going to try to bail out. They're trying to bail out the farmers because China retaliated against the tariffs. See, election has consequences, folks. China decided that we'll fix you, United States of America. We won't buy your soybeans. Soybeans and certain farm products was the biggest buyer, if you will. China was the biggest buyer of all those products from American farmers, and Trump put tariffs on them, and the Chinese retaliated by not purchasing any soybeans. So they didn't purchase any this year. So all of the crop that was made had to be plowed under now. And some of the local farmers and also some farmers around the country said that this year they had a bumper crop. Okay, and if you know what that means, is they had a good year. In farming, I was born and raised on a farm. In farming, in most years you just had a regular year, but some years you just had a great year. Okay, well, this is for the soybean farmers and the farmers that sell into China. Just our luck, they had a great year. Okay, but unfortunately, they're going to have a bad year because China is not buying their agricultural products. So, and then the Trump administration now is saying that they're going to try to bail out the farmers, by giving them subsidies and money to substitute for that. But the problem is, and even we're talking to some local farmers, that's still not enough. It is not enough money when they distribute it. Monies is nowhere near the amount of monies they would have made had they sold their products. Okay, and the economy is going south. Okay, which forced the Feds, the Federal Reserve, they call it the Federal Reserve, to cut interest rate yet another time. I think this is about the third time they cut interest rate. They cut interest rate about another quarter percent again this week. Okay, so you might want to check on that as well, because whenever they cut interest rate, that means that's a good thing sometimes for you, because it might lower your interest on your bank loans and your credit cards and stuff like that. So you might want to keep on top of that. On yesterday we had Ellison Bennett on, and he was talking about the Baptist Hospital property, and and they still wrangling with the Baptist Hospital properties on what they're going to do with it and how they're going to do it and so forth. But one of the things, since Baptist Hospital has been sitting in the middle of the black community for years and years and years, wherever they're going to demo it, whatever they're going to do with it, we want a piece of the action. The black folks want a piece of the action. We need to benefit economically from them. So if they are still planning to demo it, we need jobs, we need contracts, we need a piece of that action. Okay, need a piece of that action. So stay on your local politicians. If you talk to City Councilman Delary Williams, he's on that. He's on that project to make sure that hopefully the city residents get a piece of that action. So call Delarian if you got any issues about that, about the Baptist Hospital project. Now, also for other news about the Obamacare of the health care. Now, you all better watch out. I don't know whether you got your letters in the mail or not, but the Obamacare subsidies is going to rise tremendously beginning in January. They expire in the month of December. If you remember, when we had the shutdown, okay, when we had the Trump shutdown, but they call it the Democratic shutdown, because the Democrats did not vote in favor of the budget, because it did not have any subsidies, address any of the issues that had to do with saving Obamacare. They expanded the subsidies so that you can make Obamacare, which is the official name, is not Obamacare. It just happened to be on the Obama administration that made it happen. But the official name of it is the American Affordable Medical Act. Okay, so to make it affordable, what the administration did, the Biden administration did, Biden and the Obama administration did, was just subsidized it so you can have affordable health insurance. Those subsidies was temporarily. The Republicans voted temporarily. They did not vote them permanently, but they voted tax cuts for the rich permanently, but they did not vote for your subsidies. So, and it expires at the end of December, which means that you are going to be prepared to pay some horrendous rates for your health insurance again. Okay, tremendous rates for your health insurance again. So you don't want to do that. The reason that the Democratic Party helped shut down the government, to use that as a bargaining chip to extend those subsidies, but the only thing they got out of the deal, because they caved in at the last minute, that the Republicans said they're going to talk about it. Republican has no plan. Maybe they have what Trump called couple of years ago a concept of a plan of a health care. What the Republicans have not done anything. So in other words, your subsidies are going to expire. Now, having said that, and I had Charles on yesterday. He's a black Republican, but his concept is, and he's defending the Republicans. His concept is that what the Republicans want to do is create a health, contribute $1,500 to a health care plan. I forget what they actually call it, but it's kind of a health care plan. Like we get to do that now. Some of your employers right now, you can create a health care plan where you can contribute certain amount of money of your hard-earned monies into it, and they'll subsidize a little bit for it. That's what they want to replace Obamacare with, which is nowhere near. A lot of folks don't even have jobs to do that. A lot of folks can't even afford to contribute to it. That's why we're subsidizing it as opposed to. But you better look at that. You watch that, okay? Watch that in the news. That's going to affect you directly. Going to affect a lot of us directly. The subsidies. So we'll see what happens. Now the other thing that's happening around the world that we need to pay attention to, and your children probably need to pay attention to. You know, Australia banned social media for kids under 16 years of age. Oh, that is going to be a real issue if it happens in the United States. And it has been talked about banning social media for kids under a certain age. Okay, but put that on your asterisk by your topics of discussion and see what happens, because when one country does something, it kind of takes on. It's just like a disease. It's kind of like cold. One person catch it, then they'll spread it to other people. Okay, all right. Now also, they're preparing to pass, and I think Congress has passed, but the Senate hadn't taken it up yet. Over a $900 billion defense budget. Y'all might want to read to see what's in that defense budget, okay? We have enough troubles as it is, okay? We got enough troubles around the world as it is, and they got this big budget that they trying to do. Now, one of the things that one of the senators have thrown into that budget is to make sure that if it get approved, that they want to put a curve on the releasing the information about the bombing or the striking those Venezuela boats. Number one, why they did it in the first place, and number two, why they are committing war crimes on second strikes, killing people. I saw the statistics the other day. They done sunk about 20 or some boats and killed over 90 some people without justification. I just don't understand that, but that's neither here or there. Yesterday, they even made a more aggressive move. Okay, they made more of an aggressive move towards Venezuela. Yesterday, they seized an oil tanker that was headed to Cuba under some crazy ass flag law that they had. Why did they talking about terrorists and all that kind of stuff? I say this, and I don't want to say this as my opinion, but and I don't know this as fact, but I keep up with the news pretty much, and you can see the handwriting on the wall. Okay, I want you to understand this. This Venezuela thing is nothing but a false flag. You know what I'm saying? A false flag is meaning that they're creating something to make something out of something else, okay? To cover up for something else. The bombing of those boats it is not about bringing drugs into this country, okay? It is not about bringing drugs into the country. It is about regime change in Venezuela, and it's about that oil reserve that they have, okay? United States of America, your country, yes, your country, are creating these situations in order to take over another country's resources. And in this situation, it is the oil reserve. Venezuela has the largest oil reserve in North America, and even perhaps the world. And the United States of America want control over that. And what they want to do, Maduro, they want to take him out of office, making him the boogeyman, just like they did over in Iraq, okay, in places like that. Make those folks the boogeyman, take them out of office, and put whomever they want into office, okay, whomever they want into office, so they can control the oil reserves and all the resources and plunder the country's resources. That is what I believe is happening right now in Venezuela. So on yesterday, they escalated it by seizing one of Venezuela's oil tankers, which have millions and millions of gallons of oil on it. They asked Trump yesterday about what they're gonna do with the oil, and he's so stupid. He says the quiet things out loud, and maybe that's a strategy. Maybe it's not stupidity. Maybe it's a strategy. But he said, I guess we're gonna keep it. I keep the oil. I guess that was the whole idea. That was the whole idea, to keep the oil. So keep your eyes on that story, okay? Just keep your eyes on that story. Another interesting story we was talking about the day before, where a small plane crashed on the interstate in Orlando that hit a Toyota or something like that, trying to land on the highway. But thankfully, there was no fatalities and some very minor injuries in that situation. Okay, in that situation, I do understand when small planes get in trouble and then they're trying to attempt to land on the interstate. But the problem I see with landing on an interstate is that they could create a lot more havoc than themselves. Okay, themselves in trouble, but yet they're going to try to land it and hurt other people. If there is a block of free interstate to try to land, then do it. But when you got traffic like that, but anyway, that was the story the other day. Yesterday, the hilarious part is that some guy was doing a high-speed chase on an active runway. Where is this? You get look it up, but it's kind of a crazy story. But I think he was in another Toyota. Toyota's popular. He ran onto an active runway. Police right behind him, blaring him, trying to stop him, but run down an active runway. The air traffic controllers had to stop flights and things that was taken off. Okay, funny stuff. Read it in your news source. However you get news, just get the details on them. Just telling you the story that you might be interested in reading about or not, because the backstory behind these stories are really kind of cute and kind of funny. Also, did you know that a couple of days ago they had a shooting in Kentucky at the Kentucky State University, which I learned was a black school. It's a black college. I didn't realize that it was a black college, but it was revealed yesterday. One person was killed and another person was severely injured. And what they were reporting on yesterday, one of the parents is the cause of the shooting. And I don't have the complete details on it, but you can read it for yourselves on why the parent come on campus and shot these students. But it had to do something with his son or his daughter being attacked, that he's saying. But read that for yourself, okay? Locally here, the NAS Pensacola is trying to attract more business at NAS. The United States Coast Guard is going to have a training unit, and they're looking at NAS Pensacola to base that training unit as well. Okay, base that training unit. Now, a little more state of Florida news. State of Florida carried out another execution of a man on yesterday. Okay, I think it was a Panama City man that they carried out. If you look at the facts on execution under DeSantis administration, we have had probably the highest number of execution in the state of Florida, and I think the state of Florida is leading the country now with executions. Okay, with execution. On the local part here, there's some good news, if you will. Sort of, Lakeview received a $67,000 grant to help them to boost their psychiatric program for people that are uninsured. Okay, that uninsured. They may probably need a little more than that, because after January, we're going to have a lot more people that are uninsured because they cannot simply afford it because of the subsidies that will expire. Okay, and also on kind of a good news note, we reported, I think it was a Monday or Tuesday, report that a 29-year-old missing woman was missing, and the good news is that they found the woman. You read the backstory. I didn't read the backstory and see how and why they found her, but what I did find out, though, that she was Hispanic. And my first thought was, when she was missing, you know, my mind went there, right? My mind would say, well, you probably need to check ICE, okay? Because they snatch people off the street and disappearing them all day long. So, but anyway, she was found, but they never said, what article that I read, they never determined, maybe I didn't read that far down, that where she was found, okay? Where she was found. Also, of importance of local news as well. Remember we reported that a deputy, some time ago, a deputy killed two 20-year-old teenagers over in Alabama, an Montgomery County deputy. Now he's a former deputy now. He's trying to get his case dismissed. Okay, so you might want to look at that and everything. Also, news around us, there's been some shootings and so forth over in Foley area. So if you know anybody over in that area, you might want to check them out and so forth. All right, y'all, I think that just basically gives me a little bit of the headlines here, just a little bit of the headlines. So you read it for yourselves, get the background on it. I just want to let you know what's going on around your community, around the world, and around the state of Florida, so you can catch up on what's going on. So you know what's going on. All right, y'all, I got to take a commercial break, but I'll be right back, okay?
Some mobile companies make it hard to get a good deal. But at Cox Mobile, we know there's a better way to save. A smarter way. That's why we run on the network with unbeatable 5G reliability without breaking the bank. You'll pay as low as $30 per line. It's a win-win. Cox Mobile, the smart way to mobile.
Looking to start a career or change your current career? Pensacola State College is the place for you. Choose from short-term, high-demand career and technical education programs ranging from commercial vehicle driving to medical assisting. Call 850-484-2000.
The State Farm Personal Price Plan helps you create an affordable price just for you. Call State Farm agent Arthur Searcy for your personal price plan today.
I remember these. Will I have the money to send my kid to college? Well, that's specific. How long has that been there? 7-letter word for a bank that helps you reach your goals.
Synovus. Order for Synovus?
Thank
Are you Synovis?
Yes.
Are you gonna ask or should I?
A solid financial future doesn't happen by chance. Let's talk about your potential today.
Joe Morrison Son Funeral Home has been in business since 1913. Hi, I'm David Hawkins, the owner of Joe Morrison Son Funeral Home, saying we are a full-service funeral home. We offer pre-need funeral planning. We have a newly remodeled chapel and conference facility. Stop by and see us today. We have 9 vehicles, all waiting to service you. At Joe Morrison Son Funeral Home, we appreciate your stopping by. On behalf of all of our family here at Joe Morrison Son Funeral Home, thank you so much for allowing our family to serve you.
Viola's Menswear, 2727 West Cervantes Street, Pensacola, Florida. Gentlemen, fine clothing at an affordable price. Suits starting at $139. Dress, shoes, hats, and accessories. Here at Viola's Menswear, 2727 West Cervantes Street in Pensacola, Florida. Call today at 429-7146, 2727 West Cervantes Street in Pensacola, Florida.
All right, Pensacola, I'm back. Vernon. Go get your coffee. Go get your coffee. I want to say good morning to Miss Lois Pruitt up in St. Louis, Missouri this morning. How you doing, Sugar? And everybody else on the Sound of the Hound's voice this morning. Make sure that you tell everybody that this show is on, and I want you to like, I want you to respond. If you're looking at us on YouTube, I want you to subscribe to YouTube. I want you to like us on Facebook. I want you to follow us. Do whatever you need to do on social media to make sure that we get things around. I want to make another I guess the weather report, if you will. We're gonna have some chilly weather, but we're gonna have some not scheduled for rain this week. So anything that you got planned to do between now and Saturday and Sunday, we're gonna have just a little chance of rain. Okay, so if you got your outdoor stuff you need to get done, go ahead and get it done now. Okay, but it's going to be a little chilly. In the evening. During the day, it's going to be around the 50s and 60s throughout the day and everything. All right, let's go to some community news, if you will. Okay, first community news. The first thing I want to tell you on the community, they are going to have the homegoing services for DJ Starchild today at the New Birth Baptist Church, and the repast is going to be at the 850 Event Center. But the homegoing service is going to start at 11 a.m. and we intend to also to live stream it out to you if you're not able to attend in person. If you're not able to check the live stream out, just check out WBQP TV later on during this week, and we will play it back. Since this is a live event, we don't have a scheduled time for it, so just kind of look out for whenever we will throw it in. But it's more likely it will be shown between 6 and 9 on Friday evenings and Saturday evening. Okay, Friday evening or Saturday evening. So look out for that, if you will. Okay, look out for that, if you will. Another event that you might want to keep your eyes on is the MLK event, the MLK program. Okay, the MLK program. Okay, let me run this. Let me run the MLK. This is what we got right now. Going right now is the public service stuff that we got going on here. But the MLK event is going to be on January the 19th. And I think I'm supposed to have Don calling in this morning. I got to get with him to see that he's going to be involved. Okay, with that. But the MLK program is scheduled for the 19th. We want you to sign up. If you want to be a vendor, make sure that you sign up as a vendor as well. Okay, sign up as a vendor as well. The Ella Jordan Museum, what they call the Pink House, is doing the Black History. Black History is coming up as well real soon here, y'all. They're doing a Black History essay contest, okay? A Black History essay contest. And so get the word out to the students around town. They want to put their writing skills together and their speaking skills together. The Ella Jordan Museum is doing a Martin Luther King essay contest, MLK essay contest this year. The first prize is going to be $500. Second prize is going to be $250, and the third prize is going to be $100. So if you're interested in participating in the Ella Jordan Museum essay contest, MLK Black History essay contest, give them a call at 850-378-0281. Okay, I'm going to repeat that number once more. Okay, 850-378-0281. Okay, if you want to participate in the MLK essay contest. Also, my friends over in Okaloosa County, Mr. Sabu Williams, he asked me to pass along to you the Okaloosa County NAACP is going on the record opposing those redistricting efforts, and so they got some program going on around that as well. Okay, so stay tuned and talk to the folks over in Santa Rosa County as well. But let me do this and I'll come right back. Okay, let me do this and I'll come right back with you, okay?
You are invited to the 37th anniversary of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Parade, Monday, January the 19th, 11 o'clock a.m. in downtown Pensacola. This year's powerful theme is With Unity, We Won't Turn Back. Register your group today. Entries are placed by the date your application is received, so don't wait. For registration forms, email the mlking2020@gmail.com or call 850-378-9242. Join us as we honor the life, the legacy, and the dream of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
Need a new outfit for a special occasion? Look no further than Viola's Men's Apparel. Viola's has been providing the latest styles and accessories in Pensacola for over 20 years now. We have clothes for every occasion, and we offer consultations and group discounts. You can trust that our care, quality, and class will be unmatched. Viola's Men's Apparel, for all of your menwear needs.
Singing telegram! Happy, happy holiday cash scratch-offs. That looks like a great gift for everyone on my list, including me.
Oh, watch out! The Florida Lottery. It's good fun.
All right, welcome back, y'all. Welcome back to Vernon this morning, y'all. Good morning. I just wanted to share with you some of the community events that's going on, and the one that prominent one is going to be the MLK parade that's coming up. We want you guys to go ahead and register for the MLK parade. Okay, go ahead and register for the MLK parade. It's only $170. And if you're a vendor, we're seeking vendors in and around the area of the Martin Luther King Plaza up there. Okay, and so the vendor fees are only $100 for vendors to sell you your great food. You got some great barbecue and great pig feet, whatever you got to offer. Please call the hotline, what I call the MLK hotline, and get registered for the parade, and also get registered for the if you're a business, you can make a lot of money. During the MLK parade as well. Another event that's coming up that you definitely want to take a well. Let me finish talking before I go to that parade. Let me be fair and balanced. Let me talk about all of the parades. Okay. Let me talk about all of the parades. Okay, if you will. They're going to be a Milton parade. Okay, going to be a Milton parade as well. Okay. And so folks over in Santa Rosa County, we're going to be talking to some of those folks over there, over in Santa Rosa County, about the Santa Rosa County parade as well. They usually start the parade at 9 a.m. Okay, they usually start the parade at 9 a.m. On parade day or on MLK Day. Then they usually have a block party starting around noontime at the Chesapeake Park over there in Milton, right below where the church is at. And so we'll be talking to the organizers, if you will, of the MLK Milton Parade. And not to be outdone, we will also be talking about the Cantonment Parade. Okay, and the organizer of the Cantonment Parade, we definitely will be talking to her about that. And that was an interesting way that came about years ago. This is probably their 20th. I think it's their 20th parade. I think it was 18 to 19, maybe the 19th parade that they decided to start, because what they found out that some of the folks up there that could not make it down to the MLK parade, and so instead of you going to parade, they decided in Cantonment they're going to bring the parade to the folks in Cantonment. It turns out to be a great parade. A lot of young folks participate in that parade. It's always a great parade. If you never attended the MLK parade, okay, in Cantonment, you might want to just to do that, okay, because it is a great parade, okay, absolutely a great parade. Also, the next event I want to talk about is that your councilman. I say that. I said councilman. I didn't mean to say councilman, but your representative, okay, Michelle Salzman, sent over a news release, and she is going to have what she called a constituency Christmas. Okay, it's going to be at Bubba's on December the 11th, 2025. It's kind of a constituency Christmas party, if you will. So you might want to get over there. She's going to be talking with folks like Ashley Moody's office, and also talking about Escambia County Fire Rescue and issues that affecting our community. Okay, so you definitely may want to talk to her about that. Also, I want to make sure that you mark this down on your calendar. Okay, make sure you mark this down on your calendar. Links Incorporated has taken up the mantra, if you will, of sickle cell awareness. Okay, sickle cell awareness. As you know, Mr. Walter Wallace has been the face of sickle cell for more than 30 years now. He and Rachel Gaston Shumore, the late Rachel Gaston Shumore, was the two prime faces, if you will, of sickle cell awareness in this community. Sickle cell awareness month is in September. That's when they had a big rally and fundraisers and so forth and awareness about it. But the Links Incorporated is also want to make sure that you're aware of sickle cell. They're having a More Than You Know sickle cell awareness and wellness event, okay, that you might want to put on your calendar. It is scheduled for this coming Saturday, y'all. This coming Saturday between 2 and 4 p.m. That's on the 13th. That's on the 13th. And it's open to the public. It's free. Just want you to get it on your schedule. It's going to be held over at the Bethel AME Church, which is located at 511 Woodland Drive, right here in Pensacola. So if you want to know more information about it, get a hold of somebody over at the Links. Miss Anita Troyce is one of I think she's the president of the Links. Okay, she's the president of Links. So you might want to do that. They're gonna have some fun stuff over there. They're gonna have door prizes. They're gonna have giving away steakhouse cards, grocery cards, and so forth. But it is to benefit sickle cell, the sickle cell trait and the sickle cell disease that they have partnered with the Sickle Cell Association of Escambia, Santa Rosa County, and also with the Sickle Cell Disease Association of Escarosa as well. So you might want to put that on your calendar this coming Saturday at the Bethel AME Church from 2 to 4 p.m. Okay, on 2 to 4 p.m. All right. Now, another event that you definitely might want to consider going to, if you will, it is going to be the Gospel Soul Fest. Okay, Deacon Eddie Snell is holding its 10th annual Gospel Soul Fest. Okay, and you know, if you've been before, you know how that's going to turn out. It's going to be a great deal. It's going to be, I think, going to be at the First Baptist Church in Warrenton, 105 Gulf Beach Highway, where the Dr. James Miller is the pastor there. Okay, Dr. James Miller is the pastor there. So the doors are going to open at 4 o'clock. The event going to start at 5. Ticket sales right now are $30 donation, or $35 in advance. If you got children under 12, they're admitted free. So if you want to find your tickets, go to Goodfellows Barbershop, go to the Original Kings Barbershop, Grease and Go food vendors, and if you just want some more information, okay, just more information, just give Doc Snail, as Hill would say, give Dr. Eddie Snail a call at 850-525-7188. Okay, 525-7188. Okay. Also, I want you to think about the 37th annual parade, because we need folks to go ahead and register the parades. Register for the parade right now. I can't say too much about the MLK parade, but what I will say about the MLK parade, okay, what I will say about it is that it is we're going to have a grand marshal, which is going to be Lumen May is going to be the grand marshal for this year, and the theme this year, the 37th annual theme this year, is with unity we won't turn back. With unity we won't turn back. So that is the theme of this year's MLK parade. Alrighty, y'all. I tell you what, not only is the MLK parade, but right around the corner. One other thing, I got to get further information on Lumen May, if you're listening, or Reverend Marcel. I need the information on Living the Dream. The Living the Dream event is coming up. That's another MLK event. And I talk a lot about the parade, but we're going to have a whole MLK weekend, okay? We're going to have an MLK weekend. So with that said, having an MLK weekend, we always start the event off on a Thursday with the MLK CCC has their annual gospel. I got to get the total information on when and where is it going to be. The gospel program is, and I think it was at the Greater Little Rock Baptist Church last year, and I'm assuming it's going to be the same thing this year, but I'm not sure. I will confirm that. But the youth gospel, the youth program is usually on a Thursday night, Thursday evening, Thursday afternoon, Thursday evenings. For the weekend, we started off on a Thursday. On a Saturday, they usually have the prayer breakfast. Okay, they're having their prayer breakfast on Saturday morning, and again, I'm not haven't confirmed this yet, but I believe it's going to be at the Greater Little Rock Baptist Church. At least that's where it was last year. I got to get the information to me so I can promote it properly and so forth. So if you're out there listening to me out there, make sure that y'all get me the correct information. On Sunday, on Sunday, they also will have the gospel program, which again, it was held at the Greater Little Rock Baptist Church last year. So I'm assuming that is the case this year. But you know what assume means, right? So it's up to you to fact check me. I can give you basic information, but I do want you to follow up with behind me on some of the stuff I give you, because I don't have complete information on it, but I give you what I have, okay? And then when I confirm it, I give it again. And then of course on Monday, the parades on Mondays, but let me back up. On Saturdays, either Friday night or Saturday night, I got to confirm this again, along with the events that's going on with the MLK parade activities, we have what we call Lumen May and the Rafferty group hold what they call the Living the Dream event. The Living the Dream, if you haven't been to it, you may want to go ahead and get your ticket early, because there's always a sellout. They usually be at the Brownsfield Community Center, and that page is huge, but it's always sold out. And so if you want to get your tickets, you talk to Reverend Marcel Davis. I believe Reverend Marcel Davis may have some information on that, or get with Commissioner Lumen May on that information as well. But easier and better than that, you just make sure that you're signed up for the MLK parade right now. Okay, that's the emphasis that we are putting on this right now, so you can sign up for the MLK parade and get involved with that. All right, now I told you among the many other things that I want to do on this show, and my mantra is to educate you, to inspire you, and to entertain you. But among the things that I feel that's important to us, we're going to have to educate our own community, and have to educate our own community with this attack on equity, inclusion, and diversity, and the banning of the books, and trying to erase black history. You saw what Trump did over the weekend. Those parks and things that was closed for Juneteenth and MLK and all those kind of things in honor of these, he just ignored it, and those things gonna try to detract from what we celebrating. Okay, so we're not going back. We're not gonna let them do that. We're not gonna let them do that to us. Okay, we're not going back. So a part of my mantra here is that I want to educate people on black history. Okay, and the part of my event is that I got a segment. I want to do a couple segments every day if I can remember, on black history. Okay, do a segment every day on black history, so you are being educated with black history. All right, I'm going to start right now.
Black History Facts in 60 Seconds. 1621. William Tucker is the first black child known to be born in America. Baseball legend Jackie Robinson had an older brother, Matthew "Mac" Robinson, who broke the Olympic record in 1936 in the 200-meter dash. However, he took home the silver medal because he finished behind Jesse Owens. Before becoming a professional musician, Chuck Berry studied to become a hairdresser and has a degree in cosmetology. Between 1810 and 1850, an estimated 100,000 slaves used the Underground Railroad to escape to the north. Gabby Douglas became the first black gymnast to win the individual all-around in the 2012 London Olympics. Founded in 1984, the Bill Pickett Invitational Rodeo celebrates black cowboys and cowgirls and is the only touring black rodeo in the world. In 1864, Rebecca Lee Crumpler graduated from the New England Female Medical College as the first black woman to receive a medical degree in the U.S.
All right, you see how quick that was in 60 seconds? But I want you to do your research, okay? You need to do your research, if you will, on all those black facts, okay? All those black facts that you did not know about. We definitely want you to do your research on, you know. And we always put our emphasis on everything that's first, second, but I'm going to bring you some complete black history facts as we know it, and so you can educate your children on it. You may not know it, but share this information with your children, okay? Share the information with your children. Children they can absorb this stuff. You might not think they're listening to you. Tell them anyway. They hear you. They might be on that iPad and those iPhones and everything else and doing everything else in the world. But when you start reciting these stories to them, they will remember those stories, okay? They might not act like they are, but they'll remember those stories about facts of black history. So it's going to be up to us, y'all. It's going to be up to us to continue our own black history. I'll tell you that right now. It's going to be up to us to do that. All right, y'all. I'll be right back.
Navigating healthcare is hard. Baptist makes it better. With convenient locations, easy scheduling, and skilled, compassionate doctors. All when you need us most. The next time you need care, let Baptist make it better. Baptist Healthcare.
Singing telegram! Happy holiday cash scratch-offs. That looks like a great gift for everyone on my list, including me.
Oh, watch out! The Florida Lottery. It's good fun.
Are you searching for a great bank in Pensacola? Your search ends here with Bank of Pensacola. At Bank of Pensacola, we go beyond just being a bank. We prioritize exceptional customer service to meet all your banking needs. Whether you're interested in our checking or savings accounts, CDs, IRAs, or auto and home loans, or even credit cards, we have the perfect solutions for you. Visit us today for more information.
Are you looking to start your education or to change careers? Pensacola State College is the place for you. We offer bachelor's degrees, 2-year degrees, career certificates, and more, ranging from nursing to welding. Apply today, pensacolaState.edu.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Arthur Searcy in Pensacola today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm Day. Y'all support these businesses that support this station here, okay? Support these businesses that support this station here. You know, like you see Viola's Menswear, the only black menswear in the store. So we're going to be promoting black businesses. If you got a black business and you want it promoted, you can promote it right here on WBQP TV and WBQP Radio, okay? And if you are a black business, and you, particularly if you're a new black business, you might want to register for the MLK Parade. That $175 is the cheapest advertising you ever going to get, okay, for the amount of eyes you're going to see your new product. And also, if you also, it's very, very, very inexpensive to advertise here on WBQP, okay? And you get a bang for your buck as well. We got WBQP TV as well as WBQP TV, radio. So we got two sources now. We got a brand new radio station, internet radio station that reaches around the world. We also have WBQP TV that reaches around the world and a whole work. So we want to promote your local businesses right here at WBQP. So folks that you see on here like Sandra Fays, folks like Arthur Searcy Insurance, those are black businesses. Viola's Menswear and so forth. And also other businesses that we have like Penn Air, Baptist Hospital. Those folks are the folks that help support black businesses, okay? You see them advertise with us, so make sure that you can tell them when you're out there, absolutely tell them that I saw your ad right on WBQP. That means a lot to them, so they'll know that their ads are being seen. So I do want to give a shout out to a lot of our sponsors, like the Wahoos, the Student Group. The Student Group always support this station. Pensacola State College support this station. The Florida Lottery, and we're going to talk about, I got a lottery segment as well that I'm going to add to it, so you know what your lottery numbers are. And by the way, when I'm speaking about the lottery, and I think it was, what's the day? Thursday, was it Powerball? You need to check the Powerball, because the Powerball was some $941 million, okay, almost $1 billion. So check that. But anyway, the Florida Lottery, they're definitely a supporter of this station, and also Synovus Bank, okay. My hat's off to Synovus, because Synovus certainly always supports. Every time we have any event, whether it's Black History, whether it's Women History, whether it's Juneteenth, whether it's the Veterans Day Parade, Synovus Bank, without doubt, Synovus and Baptist Hospital and Penn Air and State Farm and Pensacola State College and Cox Communication, they all support these events, and they advertise here on this station. Joe Morris Funeral Home. So you see all of these great sponsors on here. Y'all make sure that y'all tell them that y'all saw that ad running right here on WBQP. Even Pete Moore Chevrolet, okay? Pete Moore Chevrolet supports this station. Pensacola Energy supports this station, All right. So I want you to make sure that when you're in there and out there and in and around, you make sure that you let them know that you saw their ads here on the station. Now, another thing I want to do, and it's, for me, for WBQP TV, it's not about competition as well. We try to support black businesses. And one of the things I want to encourage you to do, we got Sunshine down at Blab TV. Sunshine has a great show, comes on every day. I think it's at 9 o'clock, and right after this show here. So, it's okay. I want to promote Sunshine Show. And so, if you hadn't seen Sunshine Show, go to Blab TV at 9 a.m. And I think they repeat it at 6 p.m. If you miss it at 9, they repeat it again at 6 p.m. She has some great shows and great talent. She's Sunshine. Y'all tell I said this, okay? Tell Sunshine she's the Oprah. She's the Oprah of Pensacola. Yep, she's the Oprah of Pensacola. So y'all support my girl Sunshine. And while I'm on the Sunshine Day, there's two Sunshines. We got the Sunshines in the TV radio business, and then we got the Sunshine in the blues business, and which is my girl Miss Sunshine Knight. I want to take my hat off to Miss Sunshine Knight, and I am going to interview Miss Sunshine Knight as one of my unsung heroes. She does so much in this community. She does so much. I want to interview Miss Fannie Finkley I got a segment called Unsung Heroes. I've done a lot of the Pensacola greats in my unsung heroes, like H.K. Matthews. Y'all got to check these programs out. Mrs. Georgia Blackman, Mrs. Arnold. I have interviewed all those great people, all those great shows, and I run those shows on WBQP. So you just need to check it out. But I want to get them while they're here. Okay. So Sunshine Night. Okay, the real Sunshine, the original Sunshine. I got to sit down in front of a mic and a camera to get her life history, as well as I want Miss Fannie Finkley and any other. I talked to the guys at the Escamilla 10. I'm two of them that's living right now. I got those interviews on camera. So if you know any living legends in Pensacola, the living legends in Pensacola, I want to talk to them. I want to interview them on my Unsung Heroes segment, because they're actually unsung. I interviewed Mr. Ellison Bennett. I interviewed a lot of folks here. So, but there's so many great people doing so many great things in this great community that I can't think of everybody. One of the persons that I want to get is is Mr. Nick Blackwell. Okay, I want to talk to Mr. Nick Blackwell, trying to catch up my cousin Nick. He's hard to catch up with these days. But I've gotten a lot of people already documented on there. But for the folks that hadn't gotten out, I need your help to say, Blues, how you need to do this. I interviewed Mr. Walter Wallace. Interviewed Lester, our first city councilman. I got him already interviewed. So y'all help me out. So kind of help me out with that, if you will, okay? And you need to check out WBQP. To see all this great stuff, you're going to have to check out WBQP TV, okay? WBQP TV. And while I'm on that subject, you should be able to get WBQP TV anywhere, anytime, except on cable type TV, okay? Except for cable type TV. Now, if I were you, I would not worry about cable type TV, because they are losing market share. They are down to only about 48%. The last percentage I checked, only about 48% of the people in the country now has cable. You know, when that's include direct TV cable, they don't have it. And I don't think it could have happened to a better group of people, if you ask me. Okay. I didn't get treated well by cable, so I didn't get a chance to do that. But anyway, with streaming on it, you don't need cable anymore. Most folks, the reason people had cable was because they could not get a good consistent signal on their television, and so cable folks bought them a consistent, but it's so expensive these days, so expensive. So if you got a smart TV, and everybody has a smart TV these days, you don't need cable. The only thing you need is just go out and get you an antenna, an internal antenna, and don't get a cheap antenna, okay? Get one that's reasonable, okay? Because you get what you pay for. The better the antenna, the more channels you will find, and these channels are free. HD channels, all your ABC, all your network channels are free, okay? Are free. You paying for them with cable. Cable make you pay for your local channel. FCC didn't intend for that. They intend for you to have free TV, and that's why you're doing the free TV. You can stream it. But anyway, if you wanted to get WBQP TV, just bring up the WBQP TV app on your phone. You got it right there in the palm of your hand. Okay, you got that right there in the palm of your hands. Okay, download the app. Download the app on WBQP TV. Okay, download the app, and you get it right there. You go into all your app stores. Okay, go into the app store. All right, go into the app store and download the WBQP TV app. On it, if you don't want to go into your app store, you know, your Apple Store and all that kind of stuff, just type in that link there, rdo.to/WBQP, and you'll bring up an app like this. Okay, bring up an app like this. It's the WBQP TV app. Okay, see, it won't act right when I want it to do, because these phones, just type on the you go into the app store, you see the app. Come on, App Store. All right, like this, there it is, WBQP. And see that little three lines up there? They call these, what they call these, the hamburger bar. That'll give you your menu. That'll give you your menu on what you got in the app store. Okay, and so when you got that, you got these, you bring up the TV like this, you bring up the radio, you got two apps in the app store, and see if you can click on it, you can find it and everything. I don't want to go into all of that right now, but I do want you to just go to the app store and find your app. And whether you got an Apple phone, an iPhone, a tablet, it doesn't matter. Go into your iStore and you can find it. Another thing that we got going here is that a lot of folks don't have radios in the house anymore. You know, you used to have your AM radio in the house, but I don't have a radio anymore in my house. Okay, so what I use now is Alexa. Some people use Alexa, and some people use the Google box. You know, Google got a competition to Alexa. Now, Alexa can do a lot of things. She's a workhorse, but she ain't smart, if you ask me. She's not as smart as Google. Google is smart. You can ask Google anything, and Google give you some good answers. Alexa may not know what you're talking about half the time, but she can do things for you. And if you can tell her to play WBQP TV, she will play it for you. Or WBQP radio, she'll play it for us. So we are on Alexa. We are on the Alexa app. Okay. And one thing about Alexa, she got to be trained a little bit. You got to train her a little bit. Okay. But we're there. And also, we also own the car store app as well. Okay, we're on the car store app. If you're in your car, in other words, you're traveling around the country and you want to listen to what's going on here in the Pensacola area, instead of losing it when you get outside of the listening range, you can always go to CarPlay or Auto Android Play and pick us up there as well. Okay, just pick us up there as well. So there is no reason, none whatsoever, there's no reason to not get WBQP TV for your listening pleasure there. At 8 o'clock, we are going to be talking to Mr. Jerry McIntosh, and even perhaps talking with Derek Scott, if you will, about voting, and see what you need to do to get registered to vote, to see whether or not you have been dropped off of the voters roll or whatever. If you missed that, Charles Thornton was on yesterday. He has a show called the Thornton Review on here, and they get some very interesting topics. And so he interviewed the supervisor election. And so you might want to catch that show on the supervisor election, because he explained everything to us about certain things in the changes of the laws and so forth. Derek Scott, which is the president of the local Escambia County Democratic Party, hopefully going to be on to explain a lot of it too, and talk about the things that affect us black folks, okay? That affect us black folks. So you need to do that. For an example, if you hadn't voted in the last 2 election cycles, I believe your name is being dropped from the roll, okay? And not only the mail-in ballot roll, I think it's dropped from the roll. And so, in other words, you hadn't voted, then you have to re-register to vote. So you might want to check to make sure that you are in an active status. And I don't think they take you off the roll, but I think they put you in an inactive status. So when you show up, you're not being able to vote. But you might want to double and triple check that. Voting is the most important civic duty that we have in this country. You can see why voting is so important. If you don't understand why it's important, well, you're not paying attention to what's going on around the world, okay? You're not paying attention to what's going on around the world, okay? Because, and particularly in this country. And the reason where we are today is the reason for the lack of voting. Now, I'm going to give you 2 examples. The gubernatorial race back in 2022, when we had an opportunity to elect Andrew Gillum, and he lost only about 30,000 votes or something like that. I mean, some ridiculous number of votes that he only lost by, that we could have made the difference up so quickly. But then we got stuck with this DeSantis administration. You see the results of it for the last 4 years. The election cycle is coming up again in 2026. We got to vote again on your opportunity to vote for a governor. Now, I understand that there are going to be 2 black governors contenders, Byron Donalds, which are the Republicans that is supported by Trump, and Val Demings' husband. I can't call his name, but Demings, I think he was the mayor of Orlando, a mayor somewhere or another down in that Central Florida area. I think he's putting his name into the race. Dave Jolly is seen to be the front runner on the Democratic side of the House. Okay, as we're for right now. So pay attention to the upcoming governor's race, so that we'll make sure that we can maintain some semblance of sense in the state of Florida. You know, the state of Florida has a supermajority legislators, and so they rubber stamps a lot of stuff that Governor DeSantis have done over the years that was not to our benefits, and we don't necessarily want to do that. We don't want that to make that happen anymore. Okay, so pay attention to that, and we're going to be talking to those folks about that as well. All right, let me give you another black history, some more black history notes, okay, if you will, okay, because I want you to be educated on what's going on around you, okay? So we're going to talk a little bit about black history. When we come back, hopefully we're going to be talking to Jerry McIntosh at right around 8 o'clock hour, and maybe Derek Scott. Okay? Y'all stay tuned, and we'll be right back. Alrighty?
The late 1960s and the 1970s saw a radical shift in black political thought, represented in the Black Power movement, the Black Panther Party, and the Black Arts movement. In the wake of Dr. King's death, the quest for civil rights became radicalized, and the black church was no exception.
James Cone was a leading theologian of the Black Power movement era who revolutionized the study of theology by arguing that Black liberation was at the center of what we should understand to be the preaching of the gospel.
The Reverend Dr. James Cone, a distinguished professor at Union Theological Seminary in New York, spoke out unflinchingly about race and racism, especially economic justice and the abuses of the prison system. The late 1960s marked a turning point in Cone's career when he turned to theology to amplify the voices of the black freedom struggle and center blackness within Christianity itself.
James Cone is arguing God is black. He means that God is so intimately connected to the welfare of black people that God is indistinguishable from them. This began the formation of an alternate theology for black churches that requires a different way of thinking about power.
But for some of his Black female counterparts, they found themselves frustrated that he didn't adequately account for the ways in which Black women in the church were directly impacted by gender, by patriarchy, by sexism.
I think one of the most interesting and important aspects of African American churches is that the majority of people who are in the pews are women. The success of those institutions has rested on the labors of Black women.
They saw themselves as departing from Black liberation theology in order to take seriously the experiences of Black women.
These women are using womanist theology as a way to raise up these concerns about the lack of recognition of the power and importance of Black women in those institutions.
Jacqueline Grant, who was one of the students of James Cone, became one of the founders of womanist theology. She established the women's study of religion at Harvard University and worked in the field of Christology with a very specific focus on the experiences of Black women and set the foundation for the field.
These righteous women of God were in pursuit of an interpretation of the Bible that reflected the realities of their existence, indeed the full range of their humanity. Interweaving a feminist worldview with Black power and the Word of God to form a womanist theology, these Black women shaped a Christianity they could truly call their own.
All righty, good morning. That was our Black History moment for this morning. I was saying I was going to talk to Jerry. Jerry had a kind of a emergency. Wasn't an emergency, but he had a doctor's appointment that he didn't know he had until he checked his schedule like I do every morning. But we are going to hopefully be talking to Mr. Derek Scott a little later on in just a few minutes about what's going on, okay, in the Democratic Party and about what's we need to do about voting and so forth, okay. But right now I gotta take a commercial break, if you will, and when we finish with the commercial break, I'll be right back. Okay, be right back.
Sonia Bay's Botanicals is a local wellness boutique that specializes in infused fruit juices, medicinal herbal tea remedies, clean hair and body care, and herbal infused sea moss gels, which can be purchased 1 for $25 or 2 for $40. This sea moss contains 92 of the body's 102 essential minerals used to increase energy, relieve pain and inflammation, and improve blood pressure and more. From parasite cleanse to detox and weight loss to blood sugar control, Sonia Bay's Botanicals has a natural solution for you.
You are invited to the 37th anniversary of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Parade, Monday, January the 19th, 11 o'clock a.m. in downtown Pensacola. This year's powerful theme is With Unity, We Won't Turn Back. Register your group today. Entries are placed by the date your application is received, so don't wait. For registration forms, email themlking2020@gmail.com or call 850-378-9242. Join us as we honor the life, the legacy, and the dream of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
ENS Prediction, the 11th. It's time for the annual Gospel Soul Bowl. Gospel Soul Bowl. Saturday, January 3rd, 2026. Live at the Greater True Vine Baptist Church, 130 North Pace Boulevard in Pensacola, Florida, where Isaac Williams is pastor. The 11th year of the Gospel Soul Bowl. And it's going to be live. Performing live, it's Pastor James McGee of the Humble Spirit. Dion Bell and the Brothers. It's the Pastor Singer. Memphis, Tennessee's on the Brown Floor. The Wings of Faith, Divine Harmony, Saturday, January 3rd. The doors open at 3:30 p.m. The concert starts at 4:30 p.m. Greater True Vine Baptist Church in Pensacola. The scripture will be given to you by Minister Hubert Kim. A prayer brought to you by Minister Michael D. Get ready for a solo by Michael Jackson. Your MC, Eddie Snell III. Hosted by the Spiritual Persuaders. Get those tickets now. Advance ticket donation $30, $35 the day of the show. Get them at Goodfellas Barbershop, the original King's Barbershop. Reason Go Food Vendor. Saturday, January 3rd, 2026 for the Gospel Bowl. For more information, contact Eddie Snell at 850-525-7188.
Need a new outfit for a special occasion? Look no further than Viola's Men's Apparel. Viola's has been providing the latest styles and accessories in Pensacola for over 20 years now. We have clothes for every occasion, and we offer consultations and group discounts. You can trust that our care, quality, and class will be unmatched. Viola's Men's Apparel, for all of your menswear needs.
Stash your money somewhere smarter. With 5.05% APY, Pen Air's high yield checking puts your money to work and earning big. Pen Air Credit Union. Join us.
Need a new outfit for a special occasion? Look no further than Viola's Men's Apparel. Viola's has been providing the latest styles and accessories in Pensacola for over 20 years now. We have clothes for every occasion, and we offer consultations and group discounts. You can trust that our care, quality, and class will be unmatched. Viola's Men's Apparel, for all of your menswear needs.
Hey, where you at? Here I am ready. Good morning, y'all. Good morning, good morning, good morning. You got Vernon this morning and the new Vernon in the Morning show, y'all. Coffee with Vernon. If I were to have read my texts and so forth this morning, I would have known that Mr. Jerry McIntosh would not have been on this morning because he had a conflict in his schedule. But we're gonna have Mr. Derek Scott on from the National Democratic Party in just a few minutes, and we're gonna give him to talk about what's going on in the community. I was trying to read a note here live streaming. Jerry. See, if I had read my text this morning when I got up, I didn't read it, and he had a conflict. He thought he had the same conflict yet on this Tuesday, but he didn't, and everything. So I want to send some congratulations out to some friends of mine, okay, that getting married, and folks that having a happy birthday, having birthdays and so forth as well. I gotta, I told you one of the things that I want to incorporate in my thing is, if you know me, I love jokes, okay? And I want to try to put in a joke of the day, but you don't need to hear it from me. It picks people all the time, so you're always telling them old corny jokes, but they got. I think that's the one of the fun part of the things. I think we need to keep things sometime on the light side, and some folks don't appreciate good jokes like my good friend Mr. Porter. He's not a jokester. He doesn't like to joke around on anything, and but I think research will show you that jokes and being smiling and stuff like that is really healthy. It is really healthy for you, okay? And some folks don't have a sense of humor. Some folks don't have a sense of humor, but I always love to have that, that somewhat of a sense of a humor, so that we can keep things on the light side and everything. Okay, keep it on the light side of everything. So we want to make sure you do that. But while I wait on Mr. Derek, while I'm waiting on Mr. Derek Scott, y'all, I just want to remind you again about Black history. Okay, about Black history. Okay, we are going to be doing Black history segment here, and also about the MLK parade is coming up. The Black history event is coming up, and I don't want you to forget. I do not want you to forget. Okay, do not forget that they're banning books about Black history, and we want to make sure that we keep our people informed and educated on Black history. Okay, we don't want to lose sight of. Mary Maya Angelou had some good sayings about that, but I don't know who, and it may have been Maya Angelou, but I don't know who said that, but somebody said once that if you forget your history, you might be doomed to repeat it. And I think that means that says a lot. Okay, that says a lot about us. And if you don't believe that, if you do not believe that, okay, just look around you. Okay, look around you. And if you don't know your history, you will definitely be doomed to repeat it. Okay, I have to tell you that. Let me see if I can connect with Derek here. He hopefully he'll be on in just 1 minute. I was looking for another subject that I want to share with you this morning, but I can't seem to put my hands on it. But I will give you the weather forecast, if you will. The weather forecast for the remainder of the week is we're gonna be in the highs of 50s and 60s this week, and lows of between 30s and 40s in the evenings. But the weather chance forecast of rain will good until about Sunday or Monday before we have a good chance of rain. Okay. Now I wanted to go back to the governor's race. Okay, the governor race, and I couldn't think of Val Demings' husband's name, and his name is Jerry Demings. Okay, Jerry Demings is going to be, he putting his ticket in, his name into the ticket for the race for governor of Florida. So it is certainly important that we get out and vote this time, okay? Certainly we need to get out and vote, because Andrew Gillum lost this race by a very, very, very small margin, okay? By a very small margin, okay? Very small margin. So now's the time that we can hopefully turn Florida blue again, so we don't be suffering from under these crazy, I call it a batshit administration that we suffering from right now. Okay, I don't understand the policies that's happening. Don't understand that at all. Why they taking the stance they're taking, the hardline stance, it just doesn't make sense to me. It just doesn't make sense to me at all. Okay, not at all. The way they're doing the way they're doing and how they're doing it. Okay. All right. I'm gonna take another commercial break, and I'll be right back. No, you know what? I promise you a Black History break. Let me do. When I come back, I'm gonna do a Black History break right now. But when I finish the Black History break, I got to go to a commercial break. Okay, we'll be right back, y'all. Y'all stay tuned and tell everybody that Vernon is on this morning. Okay.
Following Dr. King's tragic assassination, Black student activism swept college campuses from coast to coast. Fueled by the Black Power movement, African American students would revolutionize American higher education, demanding the admission of more Black students, the hiring of more Black faculty, and the creation of an entirely new academic field, Black Studies.
Black Power was transformative in speaking about radical Black dignity and citizenship and raising Black consciousness. They criticized white supremacy and really criticized white privilege and white people. And that spread throughout the United States and globally in the 1960s.
One key aspect of the Black Power movement was the call for self-determination. To many young Black people, this meant taking control of their education, moving the history of African Americans in this country from the margins to the center.
By the time we hit the late 1960s, there are more numbers of Black students who begin to enter campuses as a result of the activism that is taking place in the rest of the country.
Stokely Carmichael is really the biggest activist who participated in both civil rights and Black Power during the 60s. He was a freedom rider and sat in on lunch counters. He knew Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., went to jail 27 times between 1961 and 1966. Stokely and the Black Power movement really helped transform the Black student movement into a Black studies movement that is demanding Black history be taught at all universities and even high schools.
In 1968, protests erupted at San Francisco State College. The school's Black Student Union launched a massive student strike that lasted 5 months.
San Francisco State in 1968 is a game changer because these are protesters who are disciplined but at the same time are ready to confront the police. Students are going to be arrested and they are determined to transform San Francisco State.
The success of the San Francisco State College strike would spread to nearly 200 other colleges across the country. The results of the student protests led to the recruitment of more brown and Black students, the hiring of Black professors and administrators, and the creation of Black Studies departments.
Morning, good morning. Always technical difficulties, y'all. And what happened, I don't know. But anyway, y'all, anyway, I'm gonna try to connect with Derek Scott. I'm trying to connect with Derek Scott this morning, and we've been having technical issues. Something. This computer. I don't understand this computer technology, y'all. Sometimes it will try to take over the world. The stuff about computers and AI and all this other kind of stuff. I know it's the ways of the future. I know it's the wave of the future. But I'm telling you, it's absolutely amazing to me how it worked. But anyway, I got Mr. Derek Scott on from the national the Democratic Party here in Escambia County. I want to say good morning, Derek.
Hey, good morning, Mr. Vernon. I can't hear you. I heard you at the beginning.
All right, let me turn my mic.
I hear you now.
Let me turn my mic on. I got you on twice somewhere. Let me turn you off somewhere. You know when troubles hits, it always hits. Derek, you know I had a saying at one time that my mama no, this is what my dad used to say all the time. He says, I used to say, well, it ain't one thing, Dad, it's another. He said, no, son. If it ain't one thing, it's 7 or 8. And that is the case. That is definitely the case. So how you doing this morning, Derek?
I'm good. I'm happy to be here. I'm good. I won't complain this morning.
All right. Well, let's talk about the Democratic Party. You know, I had Charles on yesterday from the Republican Party, and so he talked about some things. But I kind of think the Republican Party agenda, I just don't understand it. But one of the things I want to talk to you about is about the Black Caucus and being a membership of the Black Caucus, and tell us and bring us up to date what's going on the Democratic front, and then hopefully we'll talk a little bit about the governor race. Okay.
Yeah. Well, what I will say is right now, I think where we see right now, it's a great time to be a Democrat, and especially in Florida. If you aren't aware, we just Florida went through a series of elections across more of Central and South Florida. We didn't have any up in our area here, but everywhere, for the most part, except for one race, everywhere there was an election in Florida, Democrats took the lead. As you may know, there was national spotlight, national attention on the mayoral race for the city of Miami. That has always been a Republican stronghold, even though historically the city of Miami has been a blue city. It has always been this Republican. It's been that way for the last 30 plus years. And for the first time in that time frame, in that last 30 years, a Democrat won by electing, the city of Miami elected Eileen Higgins. She is the first woman mayor, the first Democrat in 30 years, and the first non-Hispanic mayor that the city of Miami has had in about 45 or 50 years. So this is, it's a great time to be a Democrat. We saw sweeping, they won in Palm Beach County with House District 90, I believe it is, down there. Democrats took that seat. They took several throughout the city of Orlando, city of Winter Park, some in Tampa. It was just a great day. We saw that. And we saw it historically throughout the rest of the country as well. Democrats performed well. Where Democrats lost here in the state of Florida, they made sweeping gains. There's one down in Hernando County, which is right outside of Tampa, where they moved 30 points. It was a 30-point swing from from their last election in 2024, where Donald Trump took that county by more than 30 points. They moved it 30 points more to the left. So we're seeing tremendous gains, and this has just been a sign, that people aren't really happy with the Republican politics, the way things are being ran. That's either whether you look at that nationally, at the federal level, or even state and locally. You're seeing sweeping gains. So right now, people are fed up. You're hearing things, affordability is a Democrat hoax, but you remember Donald Trump ran on lowering the cost of groceries on day one. And
absolutely.
Here we are, December 11th, and we still ain't seen a reduction in grocery costs, right? Now all of a sudden it went from we're gonna lower the cost to, oh no, that's a Democrat hoax. It's made up. There's no such thing as affordability. People know the difference. People are saying they're tired, and now it's just a matter of time to just vote them out. And so what we're seeing is people are getting voted out, and the response to being voted out is Republicans are going to start cheating. So that's where we are.
I tell you, it's amazing how this political system works, Derek. It just absolutely amazes me on how they operate this thing. Now let's bring it home. Let's bring it home for a second. I read the other day something. I don't know whether you sent it out, somebody else sent it out, about being a member of the Democratic caucus or something. Did you send that out?
I didn't. It came out from the Escambia County. I know what you're talking about, though. It did come out from the Escambia County Democratic Black Caucus. When we look at locally, we have what's called the Escambia Democratic Party, which, as you know, I'm the chair of. So that allows me to be the spokesperson for all things Democratic here in Escambia County. But we have each similar to what you'll find not only in Escambia County, but all of our counties for the most part in the state of Florida, and then even outside of the state, is that we also operate in little auxiliary organizations or little silos, and they're called, that kind of help move the vision and the purpose of the Democratic Party along. And those are our clubs and our caucuses. Here in Escambia County, we have 5 caucuses, one of which we have a caucus for LGBT issues. We have a caucus for the environmental caucus. We have a women's club, a Democratic women's club. And that is our president for the Democratic Black Caucus is Sandra McCrary, who is a member of Delta Sigma Theta, and it's the first vice president is Attorney Fred Gant, who previously served as president. So their goal for the Democratic Black Caucus is to help Democrats get elected, and specifically focus on Black Democrats. Black Democrats here in Escambia County are heard. They are part of the Escambia County Democratic Black Caucus is a subset of a larger organization called the Democratic Black Caucus of Florida, which represents over 2 million Democratic Black voices throughout. Democrats get elected, promote Democratic values, and elect Black Democrats to all levels of government. And so every year we go through a membership drive. When we look at what that looks like here in Escambia County right now, there are 70,000, a little over 70,500 Democrats, registered Democrats, and 5,000 of them, almost 36,000 of them are Black, which means that over 55% of the Democrats in Escambia County are Black, and that they show that there's power in the numbers, and everybody needs to step forward and do this. And help move the needle forward. Every month that come in and talk about initiatives, things that we can help. We focus on Black voter turnout. Like most recently, last month, the Democratic Black Caucus participated around getting our inactive voters, particularly our Black inactive voters, re-enrolled in getting them back on active status. And we talked about this, in our voices. When we talk about inactive voters, those are voters who either have not voted in the last two, moved, and the supervisor of elections office has sent a piece of mail or some information that's been returned to them as undeliverable. That automatically puts you one of those two occurrences or conditions will put you on inactive voter status. We have a lot of voters that aren't aware that they are not that they are on inactive status. Here in Escambia County, when we reference Democrats, that number is about 6,000 Black Democrats who are falling in the inactive voter status. And if we're talking about total Black voters in Escambia County, we're looking at 16,000. So there are a lot of folks who are at risk of being removed from the voter rolls. And so we call those voters to say, hey, update your information. And so we led the county in trying to get that initiative back. We do things like that. We knock on doors, particularly for when we try to do vote by mail re-enrollment. I know we've talked about it. Everybody who was re-enrolled at the end of 2024 for a vote by mail needs to re-enroll so that they will receive a ballot next year in 2026. We foster those initiatives. We send postcards. We welcome new Black voters to Escambia County, whether they are new to the county, whether they have switched parties. We just become a voice. We hear from our local electeds when we have time. Commissioner May has been a key highlighted speaker for the caucus. So we just try to make sure that our Black Democrats know exactly what's happening with respect to what's happening in Escambia County, how they can get involved, and how we move the needle forward. We look at issues, particularly one of which, we encourage people to go to tonight, which is going to be at the city council meeting, where they're going to be talking about the redevelopment of the old Baptist Hospital property and what that looks like, and particularly how that might disenfranchise Black residents who live in that area and what that looks like. So we try to be on the forefront and the lead of making sure that individuals in Escambia County are aware and have a voice, and the best way to go through that voice is to join the Democratic Black Caucus.
Hey, Derek, they talk a lot, the Republicans talk a lot about so many dead people on the road. I mean, that's such a nonsensical topic. Even if they were on the road, how are dead people going to vote? So are they saying? I don't understand that narrative. Are they saying that dead people on the road and people are voting instead? I mean for them. And if that's the case, how is that possible? Help me out with that.
So, so again, we have to this is why it's great to come and have these conversations, because you have to dispel the Republican narratives that are just complete out falsehoods. They're lies. What we do know is that when people die, the supervisor of elections, they reconcile the recent deaths with the voter rolls. They do that here in Escambia County. They do it all of the other 66 counties in the state of Florida. And I would reckon they do that nationwide. That's something that falls on the responsibility of the supervisor of elections. Here in our case, in Escambia County, that's Robert Bender. He sees it doesn't get done on a daily basis, but within the same quarter, they get a list of folks who have recently passed or are deceased, and they reconcile that list with the voter rolls. And those who have been deceased, they remove them from the voter rolls. So we know that there are not dead people that are on the voter rolls. You know, there might be one or two. You know, if someone dies in October for November and there's an election in November, then there might be a chance that they might still be on the roll. But we know that here in the state of Florida, in Escambia County, those people can't vote because the very first that they ask you for when you go vote is to produce your ID card. And most folks aren't walking around with deceased people's identification cards, right? We also know that here in the state of Florida, when you go and vote, they match the signature that's listed on the driver's license or state identification card with the way you sign at the time that you go vote. If those two signatures don't match, you don't get a chance to. We know that those things are put in place, as they have said, as safeguards to try to make the elections more secure. So we know that dead people are not voting. It's just a Republican trope and narrative to disenfranchise and propel their lives so that they can do away with vote by mail and mail-in ballots. And we know that they want to remove those opportunities for people to vote because we see two things in that process. We see more Black people taking advantage of vote by mail and being able to cast their votes absentee fashion, and we see more Democrats actually casting their votes by mail. We saw that shift in the 2020 electoral race. If you recall, we go back to 2016 when Donald Trump won. We had the safest and most secure electoral process than any other state in the nation. That's what they always said. And then we fast forward 4 more years, and all of a sudden, our electoral process is wrought with system errors, flaws, and mishaps. And we know the only difference between 2016 and 2020 is what party won the presidency, right? So we know those things aren't happening, and now they've sought to, from that point on, to misrepresent and disenfranchise voters by doing that. But no, dead people aren't voting. It's just not. It doesn't.
All right. Now explain to the people that hadn't voted in the last 2 election cycles what happened to them. Do they drop off the roll, or do they go in inactive status? And if they do and they haven't done, what do they need to do to remain active?
Okay, so if you are inactive, meaning you did not vote in either the year 2022 or 2024, in a combination of the 2025 cycle. So if you didn't vote in both of those elections, in any of the elections that occurred in those 2 years, you're placed on inactive voter rolls. The easiest thing to do to get yourself off of the inactive voter roll is to call the supervisor of elections office. You can go on the website at escambiavotes.gov and put your information on where it says where you vote, and it'll tell you whether or not you're on an active voter status. If you get a call or a postcard telling you or something from the supervisor of elections, because the supervisor of elections office does let you know that you're on the inactive voter roll, you simply call or fill out whatever the form is that they require you to do. That same form that they ask you to fill out, you can also give them a call at 850-595-3900 and let them know that you've been placed on inactive voter rolls. And all they'll do is just update your information. It's a quick call, and you'll officially move from inactive status to active status. And the last thing, another quick fix is to sign up or enroll in vote by mail. For those who have not yet enrolled by vote by mail, if you do that, whether you are wondering whether or not you're inactive or you're not sure, just sign up for vote by mail. We encourage everybody to do that anyway, because just because you sign up for vote by mail does not mean you have to vote by mail. It just gives you an option to do so. So with that, we tell you, call the supervisor of elections office, update your information. They're going to ask you for your name, the last four digits of your social security number, and your address. It's a three-minute conversation max. 3-minute conversation max. Or you can sign up for vote by mail. You can also call them to do that as well. They can do that over the phone, and that'll automatically place you in an active status. Even if you don't do any of those things, make sure that you go and vote the very first opportunity that you have to vote in 2026. So if you are a Democrat, that would be in the Democratic primary in August. Republicans would be the same thing in August, unless there's a special election that happens. In a special election would be somebody resigned from office, or there was a death of somebody who was in office that they need to fill that vacancy. If one of those elections come up, you can easily just go and cast your vote. Once you show up, that'll automatically move you from inactive to active. Now, if you miss all of those things, meaning that you don't enroll and vote by mail, or you don't call or contact the supervisor of elections, or you don't vote in 2026, then they're going to remove you from the roll after 2026, and then you'll have to sign up and register to vote all over again.
All right. Now, explain the importance of voting. I want we got the governor's race coming up next year, and I remember in 2022 when we had Andrew Gillum running. Could you explain to him the difference of the margin that we could have made, and as this new cycle coming up, we got a couple of folks that's voting. We got Jerry Demons, and we got what's his name? The other guy,
David Jolly.
David Jolly on the Democratic side, and so forth. But the more important thing is that they need to register to vote and vote because we could have made the difference.
Yeah, if you go back to Andrew Gillum's race in 2018, what you find is that Andrew Gillum lost that race to now current Governor Ron DeSantis by merely 30,000 votes. That was the tightest race in his gubernatorial history in the state of Florida. And what that meant, if you look at that, if you break that down, if only 2 more people per precinct in each one of the counties went to go and vote, we would have a very different governor. And the course of events that have happened in the state of Florida would be very different right now. We wouldn't see this attack on this ban on books. We wouldn't see the way they did where they've redone the vote by mail laws, registration, little things like that. Like one of the things that I noticed that we have to start talking about. They passed a new law that affects a lot of folks in Escambia County. You wouldn't even think about. But now, if you can go to jail, it's a misdemeanor to have a frame around your license plate now. So, if you drive, if you have a car,
stop
how
stop for a minute.
Give you
what do you mean? Explain that again.
So,
I never heard that before.
Yeah. So now, effective in October, starting October 1st, it is now a second-degree misdemeanor, meaning that people can the police can pull you over and put you in jail if you have a frame around your license plate. The great example of what I mean by that is you buy a new car and Sandy Sansing puts that little frame around on the back of the car where you have Sandy Sansing Nissan or Sandy Sansing Chevrolet that sits around your license plate, or those of us who have graduated from university or just like a FAMU, and they put the little frames that say FAMU alumni or University of Florida alumni that goes around the back of your license plate. Or people who are in fraternities, sororities, they have Alpha Kappa Alpha on the back, or Delta Sigma Theta, or Alpha Phi Alpha, whatever the case may be. Those frames that you have on the back of your license plate now can put you in jail. If the policeman stops you, he has discretion where they charge you with the misdemeanor, which is a second-degree misdemeanor, which is punishable by either paying a fine of up to $500 or 60 days in jail. Those are the laws. Those are the type of laws that our current legislators in Tallahassee are passing. So instead of fixing the issues with affordability, instead of fixing the unhoused crisis that we see where people are losing or becoming homeless more and more by the day, instead of attacking the issues around property insurance, they want to put you in jail for having a frame around your license plate. This is the ridiculousness that exists in our state right now, which is why it's important for you to go vote. You could get pulled over and go to jail for something as simple as representing your college, being an alumni of your college. And, here in Pensacola, you see FAMU alumni plates all the time. It's nothing to see a FAMU alumni. It's nothing to see a Delta Sigma Theta frame around the car. It's nothing to see Alpha Kappa Alpha around the car. Those things exist. Now you can go to jail. Imagine stopping somebody who is a senior, who is 78, 80 years old, trying to go to their meetings, their fraternity meetings, or their FAMU alumni meetings. All of a sudden, you in jail just because you got a license plate frame around your car. These are the type of foolishness things that are happening in the state of Florida that would be prevented if people just got out and went to go vote. I have a thing where people, when I talk to people, I hear oftentimes people say, oh, I don't do politics. No, I don't do politics. Well, and my response to that, when people say that, I was like, well, if you don't do politics, politics will absolutely do you. So, you don't, I'd rather do politics to get done by politics, so if that means I got to pay attention, if that means I got to vote, at bare minimum, nobody said, we're not saying that you have to be political experts. You need to be well-versed and get ready to go on CNN or MSNBC. We're not even saying you got to watch those shows every day, but at bare minimum, you got to vote, and that's the base, that's the threshold. Anything above that is great, and that's what we're calling everybody to do.
Okay, y'all went to Tallahassee the other day to fight this redistricting issue. Can you talk about that for a second?
Well, that's a quick conversation. Yeah, so we went to Tallahassee, as you all know. The same thing that's happening in Texas, where they are trying to draw Democrats out of their, essentially allowing representatives to choose their constituents instead of the opposite constituency choosing their representatives. The same thing that they did in Texas, they're doing in the state of Florida. And so last week was the first hearing on the redistricting, the proposed maps that they're using to rezone and redistrict the way Florida's congressional delegation looks. So right now in the state of Florida, we have 28 members that are elected to the U.S. House of Representatives. Of that 28, right now the breakdown is 20 of those are Republican Congress people, and 8 of them are Democrats that go. They are redrawing the maps so that essentially 5 of those current seats that are held by Democrats will then be held by Republicans. You only are supposed to do this after every census. So every 10 years, as you know, we have the census, and they take account as to who lives where, what the demographic breakdown is of each of the states, cities, et cetera, counties. And from that information, the states are charged with drawing a map for a fair representation based on the census. That's the only time you're supposed to redraw a map. We did so. The last time we did so was in 2020, and it went into effect in 2022. We saw that, if you recall, the most recent impact of that was the Congressman Al Lawson, who represented Congressional District 2, which was just a little over to our neighbors to the east, went all the way over to Jacksonville. He was a Black congressperson who was drawn out of his district and now is represented by a white male Republican in that very same seat. And so we saw that happen. That's what they're trying to do now here in 2025. And that's what I made the reference for alluding for Republicans cheating. When they see all these sweeping victories that Democrats are winning, they know that their policies aren't positive and people aren't liking them. So they're trying to rig the system. So we went over to Tallahassee last week to tell them to stop redistricting. And they rigged the system as they always do. They had a about instead of hearing from the people, which is what they're supposed to do when they have these legislative hearings where you can go and speak your piece and tell them to say no or tell them why. In this case, redistricting mid mid mid-decade is bad. They decided to do a 15-minute PowerPoint presentation where somebody stood up and talked about redistricting. They had 15 minutes and then it was over. They wouldn't let anybody talk. They didn't take comments from public citizens, which is let's be clear, that is your right as a citizen of the state of Florida, is to be able to make your voice heard when you attend these legislative hearings. They had it in 15 minutes. They said, sorry, we're not taking comments, and they adjourned the meeting.
Oh, okay. Let's turn our note to national politics for a minute. I understand that Jasmine Crockett threw her name in for the U.S. Senate, and that kind of ties to what you was talking about, redrawing the district, because I believe her congressional district has been drawn out. Can you talk to us about that?
Yeah. So as I mentioned, we saw this in Texas where they have redrawn their maps more favorable so they can pick up more Republican seats in the House of Representatives in Texas. And so one of the direct effects of that was then Texas District 30, Congressional District 30, which is all the city or the district that Representative Jasmine Crockett represents. She was drawn out of her district. So now when we look at that going forward in 2026, the likelihood that she would be able to maintain her seat because they've drawn in more Republicans into that district would be slim to none. And they've diluted the district or moved out some of the Democrats into the neighboring districts. So she's not going to be able to maintain her seat as she moves over into 2026 when the midterm election cycles happen. So she's decided to announce her run for Senate, which is a U.S. Senate, which is good, because now she doesn't have to depend on just Democrats or Black Democrats or whomever in her district. She now has the entire state of Texas to pull from. And we're talking about 10 million Black voters in the state of Texas. If you recall, if you think about it, Texas is right now a majority minority state, meaning that Hispanic and Black people outnumber white Texans. And so this is an opportunity for everybody in the state of Texas to get behind Senator Crockett. I mean, I'm just speaking into existence now, Senator Crockett or Representative Crockett, so that she wins that race in 2026. They're going to make this a national spotlight race, because of who Jasmine Crockett is. Yeah. Spotlight is going to be on her, and they've already started targeting her. She just made the announcement 2 days ago, and they've already started talking about her. Trying to put talking about she's pro-Israel, or even trying to put her, because she is running right now. Her main contender is James Talarico, who serves in the Texas House of Representatives, who is a white male, and they're trying to put them together, pit them against each other, so that they can take her out. But people have to stay the course. They must not be fooled. I would encourage everybody, even if you don't live in Texas, to donate to Jasmine's race for the Senate seat, because that is going to be something when she makes this. Because the Democrat hasn't won there statewide since 1988.
Yeah.
So that's a long time. We're talking about someone to have a chance at that race.
One of the concerning things is that you made an excellent point about the Black and the Hispanic votes outnumber the white folks in Texas. But the problem is Hispanic folks generally tend to vote Republican. So I'm hoping that they see with this administration that they hopefully they got buyer's remorse on this, Derek. So, all right, Derek, we got to go, but I thank you, and can I depend on you at least once a week to come on and keep us updated on what we need to do to get Black folks elected?
Feel free to reach out, and we can make it happen. Not a problem.
All right. Well, thank you so Thank you so much.
All right,
okay?
no problem.
All right.
Well, have a good day. Bye-bye.
Dave has just finished up work for the evening and is walking to his car. Suddenly, a short, rather squat-looking man appears in front of him with a gun in his hand.
Give me everything you've got!
The man screeches at Dave. So Dave hands over his money and his wallet. As the man is about to leave, Dave stops him. "Say," he says to the robber, holding out his hat, "would you shoot a few bullets in my hat? I don't want my wife to think I spent all my money on booze and gambling." The robber also has a wife, so he agrees and shoots a few holes in Dave's hat. Taking off his coat, Dave then says, "Thanks, buddy. How about a few bullets in my coat while you're at it? I want to look like I put up a fight and I was not a coward." The robber sighs and shoots a few holes into Dave's coat. Then Dave says, "Just one more thing. Can you please shoot?"
Look, mister, I ain't got no more bullets,
says the robber. "Oh," says Dave, "then would you please give me everything you've got before I beat the out of you?"
All right, y'all. That was a corny joke, but it was a joke. Okay. All right, y'all. I'll see you tomorrow. I'll see you tomorrow, y'all. Same time at 6:30. Y'all tell everybody. Make sure you tell everybody about this show and about the possibility of getting on the show and sharing the show and sharing it with everybody. Okay. Alrighty then. We'll see you on tomorrow. Okay. Love you. To the moon and back. See you tomorrow.
Navigating healthcare is hard. Baptist makes it better. With convenient locations, easy scheduling, and skilled, compassionate doctors. All when you need us most. The next time you need care, let Baptist make it better. Baptist Healthcare.
Singing telegram! Happy, happy holiday cash scratch-offs. That looks like a great gift for everyone on my list, including me.
Oh, watch out! The Florida Lottery. It's good fun.
Are you searching for a great bank in Pensacola? Your search ends here with Bank of Pensacola. At Bank of Pensacola, we go beyond just being a bank. We prioritize exceptional customer service to meet all your banking needs. Whether you're interested in our checking or savings accounts, CDs, IRAs, or auto and home loans, or even credit cards, we have the perfect solutions for you. Visit us today for more information.
Are you looking to start your education or to change careers? Pensacola State College is the place for you. We offer bachelor's degrees, 2-year degrees, career certificates, and more, ranging from nursing to welding. Apply today, pensacolastate.edu.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Arthur Searcy in Pensacola today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.